Hey everybody, Kim Sylvio, long time no see. Just wanted to say a very happy new year to everybody, and I just want to double check that everybody can hear me. Joelle Brown, it is not Kim Sylvio's fault. Can someone let me know that you've seen me? Sound is good. Thank you, Simon. All right, without too much further ado, let's bring in our guests.
Bonjour.
Happy New Year. Bonjour. Happy New Year, guys. How's everyone going?
Yeah, we couldn't resist
Happy New Year.
If I was drinking, it'd be scary because it's 6 a.m. So I don't think we should be doing that.
No.
Yeah, don't start that.
No. So did everyone have a good New Year? Everyone having a good break?
Yes. Yeah, we never get a break.
No.
We never stop. But there we are. We had a couple of days, so it was nice.
It was nice just to
that's nice.
stay in bed for a bit.
Now I have to get up.
Yeah. So I just pardon?
Lovely to see everybody here.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
I just wanted to point out that
Been a
Jonathan's
while.
not here. It has been a long while, actually. Bloody hell, Joel, have you lost weight? David Peacock wants to know. The answer is yes, and he's got glasses. He looks very distinguished gentleman.
Joel is muted.
Yeah, good. The Wolfenberger, no. The answer is, as far as I'm aware, no. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year.
Hello. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Jonathan's not here because he has COVID. Poor little man. I hope he gets better soon. Oh, Wally's in the house. Hello, Wally. All right.
Hello.
Hello, David.
Let's get down to business, shall we? So for those of you who don't know, we're here because in I missed that. Hello. I know Joelle's here as well. Hi, Joelle and Steen.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, sorry, Steen, you've got a massive lag. Anyway, so we're here because last September, we received documentation from the court, not from Lloyd. None of us have been served. There's been no subpoenas issued, no documentation, yada, yada, yada. But we did receive it through our attorney, solicitor, whatever you want to call it, in Croatia. And so we do have a copy of most of it. Some of it is translated, but some of it's not. Kim's got some there. Some of it I have translated. So the translation isn't perfect. So there are some words that are different. Like it's not, but the general gist and the general understanding is there. So for anyone that wants to pick at me for the translation, go on and talk to Google because I'm busy. So I thought that we'd start out at the end, which is a sensible place to start, with the sort of the end document. I hope everyone can see that. So there's a whole heap of evidence and this and that and all the other nonsense. I'm not going to go through every single piece of documentation. But what I will do is post it in a link with share screen so you can see all of the documents once we finish the live stream, so that if you want to go through every single point that of things that he has said, just in the interest of transparency, we've been saying for 18 months as the M7 that what is it exactly that we've said. And so now we've got information to say what exactly it is that he's saying. I thought about doing a video and it just, I literally couldn't. It did my head. I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot address this because it's just absolute. Trying not to swear. So this is the end of what actually Simon Green's just. Oh, thank you, Love Food Kitchen. I might take you up on that. So it's amazing that it has so much authority in Croatia. Just to clarify, this is notwithstanding, everything that's being said is notwithstanding the fact that there is a jurisdictional issue and that there is a question as regards to whether or not this, that any of this applies to any of us, like in any country. I've read the legislation. Lloyd and I are obviously in disagreement, but I believe there is a jurisdictional issue that will be dealt with before it even went to court, if it was to ever go to court. But anyway, so all of that aside, that's the legal stuff is not the relevant issue. The point of this live stream is to talk to people and show everybody what it is that he's saying, what it is that he's alleged against the M7, because, in fairness, you guys have supported the M7, the whole community has supported the M7 all the way along. And we don't want to think that we've got something to hide or that you guys are not important enough to know about it. So that's what we're doing today. So this is what he has suggested to the court, that the hearing be heard, blah, 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 that the defendants and the private prosecutor be called as witnesses to the main hearing, to inspect and read accompanying documentation messages at the hearing. So all of the nonsense, which I'll show you some of. That during the evidentiary process, all proposed evidence is implemented and produced. That must be just standard legal wording, I'd suggest, because it doesn't really say anything. Excuse me. That after the conclusion of the hearing, the defendants are declared guilty as charged, and sentenced according to law by imposing, in accordance with Article 51 of the Criminal Act, a single fine in the amount of 500 daily amounts for each person. Which daily is... Yeah, I looked it up. It's actually, I can't remember at the time, but I remember thinking, really? That's a tiny fine. It's just nonsense. So then he goes on about, who he is, blah, blah, blah. He's a former Jehovah's Witness, yada, yada. You can read it all yourself. I'm not reading it. It's just nonsense. I will point out that the first defendant, this bit here, I just want to highlight this because this has actually really pissed me off. It's not going to swear, and I just did, damn it. Furthermore, the first defendant was extremely close associate of the private prosecutor, god damn it. In his blasphemy, in his above-mentioned activities, the private prosecutor was also connected with the same by an extremely close friendship. Okay. Which is why he had maximum trust in the first defendant. Abuser described relationship with the private prosecutor and maliciously manipulated it. That's absolutely not true. It is assumed, amongst other things, with the motive and aim of damaging the reputation and influence of the private prosecutor in the circle of Jehovah's Witnesses. Let me just say this. I've been saying since day one, just bear with me 1 second. I think we have ourselves an invader. We do.
Our honorary member is a Rev.
He doesn't want to talk to us. Put your camera on your bum. Maybe his hair's messy.
He doesn't know what he's doing. It's the little icons.
I'm trying.
Hey, did you guys send Lloyd the invitation link so that he can come on with us and address some of this foolishness?
Yeah.
I did not, but if he wants it, he can just contact me privately and I'll hook him up. I won't hold my breath. So yeah, so that the thing that the way it, to me, how that reads is that it was almost like that I'd manipulated the situation to try and bring him down. That's absolutely not even close to true. That I've gone back and watched videos, obviously, of myself and Jonathan, and I look so unwell and I look horrible and I'm not even talking properly, and it's a clear indication of where I was in my mental state. It just is absolutely disgusting for him to think that this was manipulated. I did it deliberately to bring him down. Like, what a load of bullshit. It's just nonsense. Is Terry?
Well, that's a narcissist talking there anyway, isn't it? Question there, please, Kim. Go back to that paragraph again. If you could bring it down a bit more. The last 4 words, but also, where is it? Where's it gone? Where's the paragraph?
But also more widely.
but also more widely. What the hell does that mean?
Well, I presume that it means he's not talking about my butt, I hope. But sorry, I can't take this shit seriously. I just can't, because it's just like, come on, man. I'm trying. I'm trying.
I think he means worldwide. That he's a worldwide celebrity and we defamed him.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think it means like, you know, outside of the XJW community. So like people like Leah Remini, Ixa, you know, all of the external stuff. That's my thoughts. I don't know.
It would explain why the Pope was talking about him in the Vatican.
Well, I did see that. I think Elmer Fudd has like...
Yeah, it was all there on the news. It was all there. Did anybody see it? I did. I saw it all. It was all there. On that pulpit in the Vatican Square, all dressed in white. And there he was talking about James Lloyd Evans and those bastard 7. It was all there.
I just didn't want to comment. I know that Arthur's in the chat. Arthur is an XJW. Arthur is just as entitled to be here as anyone else, as is anyone that's a detractor or that believes the information that Lloyd has said. We've all been there. We've all done that. The whole point of us doing these live streams is to provide a fair and impartial and telling people the truth. So if Arthur wants to be here and listen to the story, then he's welcome. Please, like, you know, if, you know, Lloyd's probably here. At least Arthur's got the guts to say it, that he's here. So please leave Arthur. He's a nice man.
Hello, Arthur. Nice to see you. Happy New Year.
Jonathan's also here. Kim, our video and your statement said specifically you weren't doing. Yes, that's true. So Jonathan makes a really good point that my statement and in our video we talked about, he's correct, you know, that we said we're not trying to do it to take him down. I didn't want people to stop being a supporter of him. I wanted people to have the choice.
Like we do with everything. It's having all the knowledge and the facts there, and then you make an informed decision.
So,
exactly.
But if you're being told you can't listen to both sides, and we know the one person that does that is Lloyd. Well, if you're already going to listen to them, then I can't talk to you. You're no longer in my circle of trusted people. Whereas we don't do that. We've got people who still support Lloyd, and we're like, well, that's up to you.
That's fine.
And we do that through our everyday life as well.
And a lot of them are still very good friends, I might add.
And it's got nothing to do with us. Like I said to a work colleague the other day, we'd had a very bad experience with somebody who's a contractor. And that was our personal experience. And she said, well, I've never had an issue with them. And I said, I know. And I really hope you don't. And I really, really hope that you don't get burnt. But I said, forewarned is forearmed. So I'm just going to, as if somebody had said that to us, I wouldn't have stopped going ahead with the communication and the work commitments we had. But I would have looked at it a slightly different way and maybe not got as burnt as we did. So I wish that somebody that forewarned ammunition to have in the back of my mind, to know the things to look out for and to not take it personally if we then get attacked or got attacked or hurt in a specific way, because someone's tried to just say, look, personal experience, have our own, and seeing it happen to many other people. That's the only reason we used to speak out, but now we're speaking out even louder because we cannot lie and watch an abusive man continue to abuse people in the way that he has for years. So that's why I will speak up, and I will not be shut up or slapped down, no matter how many lawsuits he wants to throw at us. You're more than welcome. But you keep calling me a criminal defendant, I will come out a swinging, because you've got no evidence. You've got nothing. The only thing he's talking about me, excuse me if I'm on my high heels, is that I hurt his feelings.
His feelings.
I hurt his feelings. And I repeated things that hurt his feelings. But rather than going after the people that physically said it in the first place, what's he trying to do? The loudmouth.
And
pulled my strings and wound me up.
And just on that note, there's two things in what you said. Firstly, I appreciate the fact that you're going to speak out, and it's something that privately, and I'm well and truly over it, but there was a period of time where I was like, Mark and Cora, Kim and Mike, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you try and warn me? And I understand and I know exactly why you didn't, and I totally appreciate that, and I respect exactly why you didn't. but you know, like I definitely think that it's enough is enough and time to stop. And as regards the you know, that he's, you know, basically it is, you're in this lawsuit, Cora, because you hurt his feelings, and you've repeated things that other people have said, and you've not even quote tweeted, you just share tweeted, which is questionable as to whether or not it's a publication. Anyway, that's a legal issue. We're not talking about it today, but the irony of all of the people except for myself and Jonathan that are on this screen are people that he was going after back in the day in the aggressive activism, the day after the ban. That never escapes me, that, you know, is there a reason why that you guys are in here? It's some of the stuff, and I'm going to go through, I've picked out the top 5 funniest things that he has taken us to court for. I'm not going through it all because I'll end up going insane. Someone's got a question. If Lloyd wants to join the video, he can contact me privately. I'll screen you privately, Kim. He confessed.
You privately can. You can visiting.
That's a fair point, well made, isn't it?
Lesson of private contact with Ellie. I like to call him James because he doesn't like that. That's his name though. Yeah. My name's Mark. His name is James. I don't call myself Ashley. That's my middle name, but I call myself Mark, and he should be known as James. And that's how the public do. James. Anyway, I digress.
Hope James.
All right. So I thought this might be a good opportunity. Sorry, Kimmy, did you say something?
I just wanted to say that my biggest beef with all of this, I don't care what he does, but I hate to see the lying. That is the bee in my bonnet. So
I absolutely agree with you. And so I just, so these are the main issues that he has. I'm not going to read them all because it's just boring, but I'll scroll up so everybody can see. Just remembering all of this information will be provided in a link after the thing. So, some of them I can't help but laugh about. But yeah, some of them are just ridiculous. So he's, you know, going on talking about one thing that he has done is he has provided some medical records. I'm not going to be sharing those with the public because that's completely not okay. No, Cora, you cannot.
Behave yourself, love.
There. They made me smile several times.
Yeah, what I will say about it is that he makes the allegation that he's provided medical records to substantiate that we have caused all of his problems. He's been talking about mental health issues for God knows how long. They're not relevant. And the information that he has provided to the court to substantiate the mental issues that we have created him do not talk about us at all. Not one reference to anything to do with us has been talked about at all. There are other issues completely irrelevant to the M7. That's all I'm going to say about that. So that's all nonsense. Here's the list of all of his evidence. Yada, yada, yada. I did think about blocking out the addresses, but they're publicly known anyway, so I'm not doxing anybody. So all, like a lot of this information, all the copies and all of this business that he's talking about.
Hey, Kim, can I ask you a question, though? A critical question. In the midst of all of this, does he give any sort of okay? We have the court document here. He's listing all this BS. Can I just say, zoom out for a second? Does he give any context? Does he at any point say, we're in about, January of 2021 or whatever it was, I had a video where I melted down to my audience admitting to infidelity and stuff like that? Does he tell the court anything about like what happened or the narration of like events? Does he do any of that?
No. There is no reference.
This is literally just, they're saying mean things about me, and that's literally what this. Okay.
Yeah, and to that point, it's his mention of the engagement of prostitutes is very light on the ground. Like it doesn't. I think there's only one point that he's referenced it. Come in, hang on.
So he does. He admits in this that he engaged with prostitutes. So he.
Hang on, Terry, you're gonna have to mute. Turn it down.
Prostitutes.
Ooh. Not yet, oh my God, not yet.
Move.
Mute.
Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Terry.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
Terry, you need earphones, buddy.
That's better.
It
Terry,
is
you need
better.
earphones, buddy.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. I've got some.
One thing I want to mention,
Right,
because
hold
it
on.
is in our court documents.
Some of this laptop somewhere.
Thing I want to mention
Hang on.
is I believe it was number 5 up above that we lied about him making a 6-figure income.
Mm.
Well, when you go to the Ypsilon tax records, when it's 6 numbers, that is 6 digits. So it is a 6-figure income. And I did the math, and it was a tremendous amount of money when you convert it to US dollars.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, the whole point is that you're just basically, at the end of the day, you're speculating. But how does that meet some sort of a criminal liability? I don't understand. It's stupid.
And
when you've got the documents in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, to that point, just also, Kim, I know that there's been some discussion. Actually, I think I've got it here. That oh gosh, hello. It's in his somewhere. He's talking about he also wants compensation. I don't understand. In Australia, you either have a criminal proceeding or you have a civil proceeding. If you have a criminal proceeding, there's a statutory imposed fine. Or jail sentence or whatever it is, there's a penalty imposed upon a person as per the statutory legislation, specifications. But here he's also seems to be wanting compensation. I think he's asking for 17,000 euros. It's all a little bit unsure exactly whether he's seeking it from multiple. We're all joint and severally liable, so I'm liable and we're all liable together. But exactly the amount that he's seeking is a little bit unsure. But in the document, he talks about having, I should have had it somewhere.
The 17,003. Yeah.
Oh no, I've got that bit. No, I'm looking for the bit that he talks about Ypsilon, him having lost his company.
That's a lie. Oh, that one. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he makes a representation in here.
Can I share a screen? What do I need to click on? Because what do I need to click on to share the screen?
Send it to me in what's the name, and I'll pop it up.
All right.
I don't know if you can
see here.
I wouldn't know what I'm doing here.
What does present mean?
Yes, put it in there. Present. Yeah.
Okay.
If you can see that, put that in. Click present, and then pick it up from your.
All right. Let me open it, and then I can do that because that was a biggie. Okay.
And so, Kim, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In the eyes of a judge, you've got this guy who's making a big stink racket about all this internet stuff. She's going to ask him questions. She's going to see that it's about prostitutes. I mean, isn't there just a potential for this to kind of like backlash on Lloyd? Like they're going to be like, well, what do you mean prostitutes? Like, is that what this is all about? And then Lloyd's going to be like, well, yeah, technically, but they made me. How does this wash out potentially, ostensibly for Lloyd? Just curious.
Well, yeah, in Australia, if, say, for example, a judge becomes aware of a criminal offence during the matter of a proceeding, they can refer the matter to the DPP, which is the district attorney in America, and I don't know, the prosecutor's office. So technically that could happen. I don't think this would happen in this case, because I don't think that, there's not, there's not really any current evidence that he's currently undertaking or engaging with any illegal activities. So I don't think that the judge would be particularly bothered. I don't think the judge is particularly bothered in the court case at all. And on that note, I will say, just let me fix this up.
Okay.
That should allow you, Kim, now.
Okay.
I was sharing a screen, so I've just stopped that.
Okay. This is the first time doing this, so I appreciate your. All right. Can you see that?
No.
No. Okay. All right. It's trying to share it in my browser instead of the screen. Okay, stop screen. All right, let's try this again. Okay, share screen.
Ash Tammy's come up with a good point there. Anyone can look up the Epstein media and see for yourself. 6 figures.
I think I think what he's trying to do is split hairs between a 6-figure salary and a 6-figure revenue. Whatever. It's like having an argument about, on a regular basis. What does regular basis mean? So, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody can go and look for themselves. And Jay, no, it would appear that he has not embarrassed himself enough. He is still proceeding on.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he was using income because he's got no other way of earning money like that. And he was using it to go abroad and sleep with prostitutes and prostitutes nonetheless. Yeah. So to me, you can't tell your patrons, I need money to progress my work here within the JW's exjw community in order to expose paedophilia within the Watchtower and expose Watchtower and stand for survival victims of abuse, sexual abuse, and then do what you're doing with patron money. I'm sorry.
Don't forget also that right at the beginning of all this, all of us, in fact, there were more, and Terry can vouch for this too, received letters asking for extortion money, and it was extortion money. You don't pay this, I'll do this.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And we did contact the solicitors, his solicitor that wrote that feature, and exactly where we got was absolutely nowhere. They didn't want to know. They weren't interested. But what it does, it shows you a style of approach, which is give me money or I will take this further. It's not the way you progress in life. You don't do that unless you've got something else going on in here. We all know that he's dominated by money.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's a fair point that you make there. Sorry, Kim, go.
Just going to say, I sent you a private message.
Oh, I think I had those ones anyway. Idiot. What am I doing?
That's all right.
Okay, I'll get them. I'll put them up in a second. But basically, what Kim's sending through is, can you put it in the private chat at all? Over on the right-hand side.
Short of a buzzy.
Yeah. It says chat with everyone in this.
Yeah.
Facebook.
I don't.
That's all right.
I don't see how to add a screenshot.
That's okay. What Kim is talking about is that Lloyd has come out and said in his community page that that he's lost his company, yada, yada, yada. And it says it in the court documents as well somewhere, that he's lost his company as a result of what we've done to him, et cetera, et cetera. But as at right now, if you go and check the Epsilon documentation on the Croatian website, their registered website, it shows that it is still active. So I don't understand what he's nonsensing on about. So that's what
lies.
It's
Big
because
lie.
he thinks he's the only one who can rewrite history, and people believe the rhetoric that comes out of that man's mouth. He knows exactly what Watchtower does. Whitewash. If I say this, people are just going to take my word for it rather than look at the ... in between and do their own research. They just take what he's saying as fact. Lloyd said it. Oh, look, the sky is green. Lloyd said it, therefore it must be. I'm not going to go and double check my facts. I'll take his word for it. And he's basing all of that on that, because unfortunately that's what we do when you're witnesses. Your mind is conditioned to a certain thing. If someone says something, it must be right. And unless you've got the nous to go and dig a little bit, do a little bit of your own research and actually fact check a bit of history and actually then compare it to what's being said right now, you will never understand, or you'll just assume what he's saying is true.
Right. That's right.
He's a master at it. We've got somebody we know who we're dealing with at the moment who rewrites history within a week of saying something physically on a text, and then they'll say, well, I've said this, and I'm like, but you said this a week ago and I've got the evidence, here you go. So it's fascinating to watch, but he's an absolute narcissist through and through.
Yeah.
Oh,
all he did, because I've got his older Epsilon tax records, from these websites, and all he did was change the address to Zagreb and remove Deanna as the director of his company. That's all he did. Yeah, he has lost about half of his income, but
that's not because of us.
But see, this right here, this is what gets me, is the lie. That is, I'm surprised his nose isn't 2 feet long.
Well, not only that, look at his icon. He's smiling as he's writing the lie.
Yeah. It's just
I particularly like the deranged pitbull.
I love it.
You got your name wrong. You've put rabid pitbull. It's deranged, Joel.
Yeah, Joel.
So I've also, because I cannot be asked, I'll be just straight out honest with everybody. I can't go through every single the information, as I said, will be in the links below. What did I do here? I have completely stuffed it here. I think I'm like super excellent. Hi, Anna. Yeah. I agree with this comment, Simon Green. He's simply suffering the consequences of his own confession. Decent people don't want to support that behavior. And on that note, when you go through, which, by the way, also, he provided all of his patrons names, addresses, the whole kit and caboodle in the court case, not sharing those documents because that's obviously unfair. But he has shown all of his income from Patreon in his documentation. And people have said, because you cheated on your wife, because you engage in prostitutes, you lied, whatever. Like there's not everybody has provided a reason, but maybe 30% of people have provided a reason as to why they've left him, and he bases that, because and those people are included in the numbers of what he's seeking compensation for. And I'm just like, well.
But a lot of people have been very vocal, like when they've withdrawn their support for him. I mean, people have made videos. People have written blogs about how used and icky they feel about it. I mean, people have been very vocal about this. And,
yes, they have. Sorry, Kira, I was just going to add to that with what Joel said there. I've got friends. I'm not going to name them, that are patrons to him. And they're patrons to him for a very good reason, because they keep an eye on everything he's saying and doing. They're recording everything. I'm just putting it out there. I've got their permission to be able to say that first. But they're actually in there and they're watching everything. And of course, they're passing it straight to everybody else. So, Mr. Evans, if you're listening, your own patron army is infiltrated with all sorts of people that are very interested in everything you're saying. And there's a lot of evidence being written down. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah.
Can I just make a comment to Wally? JW thoughts?
Yes.
You're absolutely right. I gotta go take a piss. I'll be right back. That game is breaking.
You mentioned dam and water, and he's got a. Yeah,
I don't think that's the crack that Wally was talking about, but okay. Becky, so my information is publicly available in Croatia. If you were a patron of Lloyd's, and I don't know whether you were or not, it's not publicly available, but it is accessible through the court. I have it. You can rest assured, I guarantee you I will not be sharing that in any way, shape, or form. So I think you're reasonably okay. Certainly shouldn't be worried about. If you are concerned, contact me privately, and I'll help you as
it'd be really fun and very helpful for this whole situation is if somebody out there in internet land made a video comparing, what was it, even maybe a year ago, wasn't he complaining about not being able to afford a haircut for his daughter or something like that?
Right. Yeah.
And then he's traveling overseas to California for
that's right.
who but I'm just saying, but take these, because it's happened more than a lot, but put them back to back. That'd be such a fun montage for somebody to put together, because it shows what it's, it says everything without somebody having to pick it apart,
And shout out to Toblerone from JWN. They have been through and gone through and counted how many holidays that he's had, and it's quite interesting.
I haven't had that many holidays in my lifetime.
No,
Wally,
I know.
I haven't.
If Wally, let's talk, Wally. That's all I'm saying.
That feels better.
Oh yeah, Wally, you've been holding out your jerk.
Because we run our own businesses, so we
could do a what's it called when like two rappers get together to make hip hop beats together? What do they call that? A collaboration? Hell yeah. We'll do a remix collaboration on that, and we'll do it together. Yeah. Lots of apostasy.
Yeah.
So what I have done is, and I'm going to just break out throughout the thing and show everybody, these clips I have taken are actually directly related to things that he has said, and I'm starting at number 5, working down to number 1. By the time you get to number 1, you'll think I'm making shit up, but then you can go and check it in the documents if you want, because it's that funny. Like, honestly, it's hilarious. So starting at number 5, this is a criminal offense. Criminal. Bear with me. Criminal.
He's a criminal.
$3,000 or sort of £3,000 a live stream or something mad like that.
Yeah, I think it was $3,000 to be fair.
Well, it's still a lot. I mean, that's
it is. That's it.
That's it.
That's all he offered.
That's
Sue her! Seize that woman!
Oh my God!
You
Get her!
You criminal!
Terrible.
Tie her up!
Get the handcuffs.
Oh my God!
That's true. It's true.
Seize her!
I'm going to jail.
Throw her in jail.
He has said that I said that it's like every live stream, and I was like, Jesus. I'll be honest with you. When they said £3,000, I had either not long gone to England or was going or whatever, and I understood the difference between the cost of £3,000 and $3,000 US. And I was trying to be fair to Lloyd by saying it wasn't £3,000, it was $3,000 US, which is less. So I was trying to be fair, and now he's turned that into. Yes, Tech Ben, if you call someone a teapot, it's libelous. You wait to get to number 1. This is a classic. Him visiting the UK and the Queen died, coincidence. No, that was me. Oh, yeah, him. Yes, Kim, I did. Everyone says that's my fault too. I was so devastated. Then I was in England when the Queen died.
That's right. It's your fault as well.
Do you guys, do you want to see the second one?
She wasn't even at room temperature when he was in front of there making like awkward jokes about. Okay, all right.
That was hardcore offensive.
He's got some comedic timing, at least, I guess.
So that was number.
Do you want to see number 4?
Yeah.
Crack up.
But he brought up the point. What if Lloyd is bringing home an STD to his wife, saying that it's nobody's business what he's doing with his genitals? Well, if it brings back an STD, I would very much say it's his wife's business. And if he's spreading an STD, it's the sex worker's business. It's anybody who he has sex with. It's their business what he is doing with his genitals. So
no, Jonathan,
we'll move on to the next thing.
Again, we're going to try not to non-monogamy comes into. Come on, it's ethical non-monogamy, honey. It's ethical.
But you have to understand me.
I have needs.
I have needs. It's
Needs. I got
my
blue balls.
It's Watchtower's fault.
Blue balls.
Yeah, but how is that defamation? He's commenting just for context, and all of the timestamps that are in the document. So if someone wants to go back and fact check me on this, I can't say that.
Jonathan Berger is being criminally concerned about Deanna's well-being. That's all that is.
He was commenting on another YouTuber. I think it was Faithful Slave. He was commenting about something that they had posted on Twitter and said, because like Lloyd was saying, nothing is anyone's business. And they were talking about, well, if you've got an STD, that's your wife's business. That's what they were talking about. And I'm like, well, how on God's earth is that defamation? And how on earth? Shut up, Ollie. No, I like this one. How is that defamation, and how does it meet a criminal element? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on a roll. Do you guys want to see number 3?
Go on. I'm braced.
Yes.
Are they going to get like? All right, never mind. Shut it. It's fine.
I hope my hope in my
is what does any of those other things have to do with the issue at hand? Who cares? Like, nobody's accusing you of bludgeoning a seal. Nobody's accusing you of running over a cat. Nobody is accusing this man of anything other than possibly using funds, which he admits to later, to using funds that were donated to hire sex workers, and then doing that in a country where it is known that sexual exploitation goes on.
And it's illegal.
How is that defamation?
Well, it's not.
Fascinating, isn't it?
It's not.
Absolute fascination.
And the judge is still going to view all of this, correct, Kim? Like the judge, however their system works, somebody has to review all of these things, right? Are they actually watching these clips?
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, and they don't have any context to it, and they're not. But what I would suggest in Australia, if it's not clear and concise evidence, they'll say this is not evidence. They'll kick it out as evidence and say, like, I'm not. It's not the court's job to go back and get the context and this and that. If it doesn't make sense, you yeet it. So. Shall I continue with the next? I really just want to get to number 1. That
would be everything then out the window if that's the case, because nothing makes sense. The way you read it, you think, goodness me, I'd have you'd have lost me at hello, and it'd have been out the window, case dismissed.
And look, and I will talk. Actually, I'll talk about that now because I'll forget otherwise. So we talk about this glacially slow element that Lloyd keeps banging on about. Glacially
slow. Glacially slow.
That's the one. So
that's the one.
So we talk about that, And you talk about yeeting it out. So the court case sat for a good plus 12 months doing nothing. Eventually, we made inquiries through our solicitor, which kickstarted the court to contact Lloyd and go, "Hoy, your application's shit. It doesn't have translations, yada, yada." And there's still an argument. It's still not fully translated. Some of it has been, but not all of it. Or certainly I haven't been provided with all of the translations. If there are translations, I don't think there are, but anyway, whatever. The other thing is that he then provided the documentation. So the court now are currently questioning further aspects of his application. I'm not getting into the legalities of it because it's just boring. But they've actually been chasing him, trying to get in contact with him to the point where they've sent the police to his registered addresses per the court. And we have evidence to demonstrate that they made representations to the court. The police officers attended, spoke to presumably Diana. They said his wife. I presume that's Diana. And she said that he was in the US until the 27th of December. So, I mean, for somebody who is bitching and moaning on a regular to his subscribers and video viewers and whatever else, patron supporters, that it's glacially slow and it's not his fault or whatever the bullshit is that he goes on with. Okay, it's not his fault. So, I mean, should it be yeeted if it was in Australia? To your point, Corey, yeah, it would have been yeeted a long time ago, but that's not how the Croatian court system works, apparently. So,
is that because they get more money if it doesn't? I mean, at the end of the day, which is a beautiful cash cow for them.
I don't know.
For Lloyd Evans too.
I have seen he has got them, so why not milk them a bit more? I would, if I was getting money for it. Give me them titties, I'll squeeze them.
Oh God, what is wrong with you?
So Kim, the quick rundown here is that the lawsuit's got a lot of holes in it. There's no context. It's not exactly rising to the what would be required of a criminal law. It just I mean, I know we've discussed this on the side, and I'm not really, I don't really feel like giving him like there's some really obvious shortcomings, we will say, that how people are going to keep a straight face considering this information in the court, I don't know. But what do you think? What are the chances? Come on, hit me with it. Like, is this like 50-50? Am I going down? Like, is the potential of Croatian prison system in my future at all? Is that going to happen to me?
I secretly think you want that to be the case because you and Mark have got some sort of like, Mikey's somewhere involved with that. I know. I'm secretly thinking that you're hoping for it, but I hate to burst your bubble. There's about a 0% chance that's going to happen. So,
it's all right, love. Okay.
Well, me and Joel have had fantasies about it, but there you go.
I'll build a little cell for you in the back garden.
A little cell.
Throw things through the window, like the little bars. Yeah. I'll make a little slit, and I'll do a cut out of Joel in there as well and stuff. It's all right. That's next. As this birthday sorted, I can sort that.
to anybody that's listening, and there's a lot of people that don't get this sense of humor, please just go with the flow on this because we've known this and I will call him an idiot,
piece of slime,
that's content for many years. And the way that we've survived this through the years is through a sense of humor and laughing about it, because otherwise you'd blow a gasket. And
I've learned to laugh too.
Yes, so you laugh about it, and that's part of the antidote to actually understanding who he is to have a sense of humor.
You can't take it seriously
and laugh at it, because that's the only true way to actually counteract all of his spinning and his lies and bullshit he comes out with.
Mark, well, I got you here. How's it going? Hi, Mark.
Very well, thank you, mate.
Hey, have you ever had any sort of a follow-up from the UK authorities about any sort of a
nothing
investigation?
At all. I'll let you into exactly with the state of this country, and Terry will back me up on this. It doesn't surprise me that I've not heard anything, and the reason being is that the state of our investigation services with child sexual abuse is absolutely in the toilet.
Yeah.
It is disgraceful. And it doesn't surprise me in the slightest that his emails or alleged emails that are out there that I've now reported in are sitting in some back tray somewhere while they deal with some of the other more pressing matters of some of our more culturally enriched immigrants that are now over here rampaging through the country. So there's a lot of that going on. So his case is still in there. It's cooking, but no, I've not heard anything.
And to be honest, why would we? We're not people that would be having to be informed as to where they are with it. It's not something that. It's like whenever you report anything, you're not told all the gory details and where they are with things within the investigation. All they inform you is if they need any more information from you. And we've said that we're available if they need us, we're there.
Yeah.
We've done our duty, and we've done the point where we've handed in everything that we had, everything from years ago, from recent, from everything that we had has been handed in.
So can I ask a question? Kim Sylvio, alleged former attorney Kim Sylvio, did Lloyd mention anything about, did he make reference to the video that Mark Latham did in front of the police
Yes.
headquarters there? He did.
Yeah, he did. And the thing is that the thing that perplexes me about that whole particular situation, okay.
How dare you go to the police about me? I'm going to go to the police about. I'm going to go to the police about you. Going to the police about me? Is that okay? All right.
Well, if someone from an elder from the Watchtower organization, from a local congregation, sent information, uncertified, unvalidated, unknown information, but information that suggested that there could be an issue with regards to things that relate to children, then we would not go, well, did you certify? Did you verify? Did you look into it? Did you validate? That's not their job. And it's not Mark and Cora's job or Kim and Mike's job or your job or my job or anyone else's job. We advocate for reporting and letting it go to the authorities and then leaving it with the authorities. We don't know who, what, where, how, and why. And if nothing comes of it, then there's nothing to worry about.
We've even been to number 10 Downing Street with the 2 witness rule and handed in a letter with lawyers backing that letter, outlining the need to report to the police. Now, why when I get it, when it's in the receipt of my hand, emails like, I don't know if he's innocent or guilty. I haven't got a clue. I'm not there for that. I'm there to actually make sure that information gets to the authorities to investigate.
And if it were me, and I can only speak for myself, but if it were me and it was me that you were reporting, I'd be like, do it. Get on and do it. And I'm not suggesting that because I want you to do it that I'm innocent and therefore Lloyd is guilty. I'm not making that comparison. What I'm saying is that as someone who advocates for, mandatory reporting, et cetera, I'd be like, go ahead, do it. That's what you should do. We want Watchtower to do that.
We do it all the time about Watchtower.
We've done it for years.
And we've always said we will never, ever, ever sit on anything that we've heard or found or have in opposition. Ever. We will always report it because better to be proved wrong than to not say anything.
Or for nothing to come of it.
I would rather be proved wrong than some innocent victim in the future as a result of us not speaking up, actually become a victim of something we could have stopped or a result of.
So furthermore, I know that this is completely conjecture, but when Mark made his video there in front of the police headquarters, wasn't it only a month or two? It was within a very short amount of time that he actually visited London, wasn't it? So I'm just saying, wouldn't it have been the perfect dunk on Mark to make his own video in front of a police station saying, hey, just so you know, I've made myself available to the authorities because I want to, get in front of these horrible accusations. They're baseless. You guys are a bunch of blah blah blahs, and just so you know, so like a video like that, and everyone would have been like, "Oh, okay, well, shit," But it's like,
Put it to bed. Put it to bed.
Yeah.
why
That's
not?
what Mark said. He said, as a male, as a full red-blooded male, if somebody did a video or made any accusation that was completely false, I would be straight down the nearest police station, and I would say, right, I've got a complaint to make, and I want to make sure that you've had something come into you which is completely false allegations, this, that, and the other. Yeah. I'm here to put it right, because I do not want a knocking on my door.
I'm here to cooperate.
Here to cooperate.
With anything you've got in the way of so-called accusations.
He didn't.
But he didn't.
He's gone straight on the attack.
I don't know.
I've written it in my book. I've told everybody about everything. I don't need to say anything because it's all in my book. I admitted to it all in my book. He said it numerous times. I've admitted to it all in my book so that none of this comes up in the future. Well, if you read his book and actually read it properly, I would not have put that in a book, because there's a lot of things in there that are quite alarming, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it isn't a great. It's not a great read.
I do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, and then the fact of the matter is, and there's a point here that you can't be prosecuted for reporting a potential crime. Absolutely not. Yeah. I've just got some questions that I need to answer, guys. Sorry, bear with me. So Marty seeks the truth. Hello, Marty. Says, how much does Lloyd want to settle out of court? At this point in time, 0. He wants, to my best recollection, and again, this document has been translated, so please don't quote me on the exact figure. It appears he wants 17,000 euros compensation. Previously to commencing proceedings, I think 11 or 12 people received letters varying between 3,000 and 8,000. And in those letters, it says, issue an apology, do all this, give me money, and it'll be solved. So technically, if he wanted to settle back then, if people had paid, but some people didn't get put into the actual court case anyway and didn't pay. So it's a bit weird.
Can I just add, Terry, didn't you get a letter?
You were one of the 12, weren't you?
Yes, I got. Yeah, there was 12, and I never got a letter because he sent me an email. He got through YouTube. He got my home address and my email address, and then of course I'd moved, so the letter went to my old address. But I still got an email with the same thing that everybody else goes, which just says you've collectively defamed him. You have to remove all the stuff you put up about him. You need to pay him. I know you got asked to pay more money. Mine was 3,000 euros that I was supposed to pay him, and also do the apology video as well. So.
Thank you.
And then, of course, I contacted Kim and say, Kim, I need your legal advice here.
3,000 euros is a small price to pay for the clean conscience of knowing that you haven't disparaged anyone or defamed them. Yeah, that's a good deal.
So at this point, what, like, I know I haven't shown all of the documents and the evidence regarding Jonathan Burer, but I mean, all of it is opinion, discussion, thoughts, questions. Like, his is absolutely not a problem. We've talked about Cora's. So Cora's is an absolute joke. Like, she is literally just having an opinion, reposting what other people have said, which is also not a problem. She's off the hook. Mark reported he's called, what Lloyd said, you can't control your dick or whatever. I don't know what it was that he said. But he's repeating words that Lloyd, not verbatim, but words to the effect of what Lloyd has said. And he also has made a report in respect of some documentation that he had in his possession. Again, not. So at this stage, we've eliminated Jonathan, we've eliminated Cora, and we've eliminated Mark. Let's talk about Kim and Mikey. Oh, no, I can't talk about you guys yet because I've got something coming. I'm very excited. Let me just see, because I've got my top 5.
Are we on 3? No, we're on 2 now, aren't we?
No.
3.
We've
done 2.
No, we did. Oh, no, we did 4. We're up to 3.
That's it.
3.
What does any of those other things have to do with the issue at hand?
Yeah, so that was number 3.
Just that little bit.
No, the whole thing, but we've seen that one. It was about about the
Oh
donation.
no, yeah, that was him with it.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we've
Yeah, I was
already
in
done
it.
that one. Yeah. So we'll go down to number 2. I'm getting.
I'm gonna go. Oh, I could. I'll just drink my wine.
I think we did too.
It's not my fault.
Oh,
I'm a victim, bit. It's everybody else's fault, including your wife. You made inferences about her too. It was shameful to even be watching it, really. The way that you trashed her. God only knows what she's going through.
Okay, so then I thought what I'd do.
whoa.
Never mind.
I thought what I'd do is I'd just find something. Oops, hang on.
Naughty
The shame
boy.
of it all, Mark. The
Never
shame of it
it
all.
Don't make me get the house.
But don't forget,
Don't
I'm a
let me
criminal.
use make
All right.
Edward.
I really, really hoped that when I got married, everything would be normal. I wouldn't need porn. I wouldn't need chat sites. I wouldn't need any of that. It would be enough that my wife would be enough. And the weird thing was that's not how it works. And I hoped I'd drawn a line under it when I moved to Croatia. I certainly hoped I'd drawn a line under it when I wrote The Reluctant Apostate. But it turned out I hadn't. It turned out that my relationship with Deanna, despite giving me so much goodness, she's a wonderful, wonderful woman. I don't deserve her, quite frankly.
That's damn straight. You don't.
Wow.
Sorry, I get really angry about that.
He's very slimy. If you watch the way he actually looks when he's saying all that, it's so disingenuous entirely.
Yeah, he's
He's
putting
so
on a show.
slimy. Lloyd, if you watch him, which I know you are, you're slimy.
You said, adjudicate me. Your words.
You be the judge.
You be the judge.
Okay, we all are.
Well, we've read that, we've listened to it, we've seen the transcript of it since, and we've looked at it and we thought, you know what? Slating your wife like you did publicly was an absolute disgrace. To call her and make out the accusations you were making about her in the bedroom.
She's not good enough.
Shocking. Shocking beyond words. And I'm amazed that you've still got patrons.
It's just really weird that he's the one that puts
I
this
know.
stuff out into the universe, and then people react to it, and then he feels like the solution is to criminally sue them, even though they're completely out of jurisdictions. And then but then he also gets donations for it. It's kind of weird. It's a little bit strange. It's very bizarre. Very bizarre. Regardless, it's like
go back and
people
listen to this again. Go back and listen to this again, and remember the context of you are being sued for defamation or insult. Listen to this again.
It's not my fault. I'm a victim, bit. It's everybody else's fault, including your wife. You made inferences about her too. It was shameful to even be watching it, really. The way that you trashed her. God only knows what she's going through.
How dare you?
Like, think about that. Like, Lloyd basically got up on the video and said that he thought that his wife would be sufficient. Marty makes a great point here. How could a man do that to a loyal wife? At the time, even I was like, "Oh my God, Lord, can't believe." But you are being sued for that, for saying that that's what you are being sued for. Like, that is the stupidity of the bullshit that we're going with. I've got to go to Kim and Mikey's because this is like. So, Kim, let me do a rundown for everybody. No.
Am I going to be shocked?
No, not at all.
Mikey.
Mike, we can't shock you, Mike. You know that.
Oh, I think it's actually quite behaved of Mikey. I was like, oh, yeah, so grown up. He's so grown up. Yeah, so I went through. I actually did go through all of Kim and Mike's stuff. like every single word of theirs in the, because it's not that much, you know, like as it starts out me, Jonathan, and Joel, and then it just works its way down. So Kim and Mike's, I went through their whole video that he's talking about. And it's the video where Kim and Mike start talking, and then they show an old video where it's Shyla, who's Mike and Kim's daughter, and their son-in-law, I've forgotten his name, and Mike and Kim from years ago talking, and every single quote but two are not made by, every single statement are not made by Mike or Kim. None of them are actually made by Kim. I think a couple of, or maybe one's with Kim, or definitely one's with Mike. But let me tell you, this is the funny. I am actually I'm gonna find it and show you, because it's just so funny.
So I'm being sued for something I never even said.
That's right. That's right. Hang on.
But you were in the room. You were in the room.
You're a criminal.
I can't find it.
What those cuffs on?
You nodded your head. You nodded your head.
Yeah. I was in agreement with what my daughter was saying. Oh yeah, sue me.
Well, James said he's down your way.
Yes, Maddie, that is Joel, the great apostate, the general.
Yeah.
So literally, but I've got to say this. One of them, what's his son-in-law's name again? I've forgotten.
James,
that's right. So James says, and this is in the court case, this is what Mike and Kim are being sued for, like verbatim, you're a fool. He is being, like, Mike and Kim are being held legally, criminally responsible for saying you're a fool. I'm not even joking. I'm not even shitting if it's in there. But I didn't include it because it wasn't.
Well, when I did the Mag 7 court update, I think back in September, I actually showed the clip that has the actual timestamp from Lloyd's court documents. And it is James saying basically that your wife looks beat down. Yeah. So that is one of the things that are in the court documents also. And we never said it. But apparently because we nodded our head and it's on our channel, we're responsible.
Wow. Guys, my phone is dying. I'm going to have to roll.
Before we get on with the clips,
do you want to get the last one on? I gotta have time for that. I'm unsure.
Okay, Joel has to go, so we're gonna play the last clip and we'll come back. This is the #1 clip of stupidity. Bear with me. I'm gonna play it twice, so don't worry.
Wonderful week.
Oh, by the way, Lloyd, here's my apology, dude. Are you reading me? Are you hearing me? This is what I think, dude.
You have a great day.
Bye.
We hope you have a wonderful week.
Oh, by the way, Lloyd, here's my apology, dude. Are you reading me? Are you hearing me? This is what I think, dude.
You have a great day.
Bye. #1, huh? Hey, I guess I was right. What do we do with the drunken cedars? What do we do with the drunken cedars?
Okay.
I'm not even joking.
Joel.
I'm not even joking. That is in the court case. That is one of two things. That is one of two things that are actually things that Mike or Kim said. And that is one of them, because you have insulted him.
Surely the judge will see that and say, "Oh, this poor man, he has suffered such injustice," and they will fire. They'll file the supportive international paperwork to get us. Oh boy.
You guys have to remember when I did that, we all got that attempted extortion letter, and I said the same thing. That whole thing was based on him trying to extort us and wanted a public apology.
That's what
Right.
the lawyer
Yeah,
said that
yeah,
I
yeah.
showed it to. So you're not wrong.
Because we
Yeah,
were never
well-
sent that letter. We got an email from
Yeah.
the lawyer
Same.
requesting 8,000 euros.
Same with us. 8,000.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I mean, he's using the court system to say that that's insult. That is criminal insult. Like, I question you. Is anybody like I'm gonna have so many people in jail? Like, how many times have you been flipped the bird when you're driving? Like, I need to know. Like,
The
I
judge
need to
and on
know.
their way into court, we're looking at this case.
Well-
cut up in traffic.
Well, here's my legal defense. Since Lloyd has an IT person work him, that was not me. That was an AI generated version of me. I never said that. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Believe me, that was not me. You guys know me better than this. I would never act like this in public. Come on.
You back to
So I know, just 2 seconds, Joel. I know you need to go. I just wanted to comment on yours. Yours is just so much shit that I didn't even include anything because it's just so much shit. I cannot. It's boring. This is my personal opinion. Sue me. I think the only reason that Joel was included is because he hates you so much, and you are my rabid bulldog.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that is why you got
Exactly.
included.
Yeah.
The stuff against you is just so much bullshit that I couldn't even talk
Yes.
about.
Nice to
Is
be
there any final
appreciated.
words that you want to say before you kick off?
Well, Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
It'll be fun to see what happens. Jay asked the question. Maybe you guys can discuss this after I jump off, but I don't know how much we can even answer that. But the question was raised, what about a countersuit? It'd be kind of fun.
Oh well.
Anyways,
I don't.
I'll just leave that here. I'll just punt that one into the crowd, and then I'll leave on that note. I'm just saying. All right, guys, take it
Happy
easy.
New Year, Joel.
All right, it's been fun. Take care, guys.
Take care, mate.
See you later, Joel. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
He
we're
got
not going to talk about that.
recognised.
You got
He
recognised.
got recognised the other day by somebody who was doing a job, bugs in his hair, goes out, and somebody goes, "Joel, is that you?"
Joel, we love you. I think we should take a vote and start calling him the general because it really pisses him off. I won't say why it pisses him off, but he knows. Back to Mike and Kim, which is where we were. That literally, just so people don't think I'm being funny or an idiot, I know I'm hilarious. No, really. I'm not. But what's a Glasgow kiss?
Oh,
I don't know what
It's
that
a
is.
punch in the
So
face.
if I posted
It's a
something
punch.
inappropriate,
Isn't it a headbutt?
I don't know what I'm talking
Is that
about.
hard? Is that
Yeah.
yeah.
Headbutt.
Oh,
Headbutt.
I love Glasgow,
That's
so
on to
I'm
me.
all about it.
You don't
Yeah.
want
You, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy.
So anyway,
But-
it's a headbutt. Thank you, Simon. So yeah, like basically with Kim and Mike, I know I joke, I make a joke of it. We think it's funny, but I'm seriously here to inform everybody that that is in the court case. And that is one of his allegations. He is saying that by Mikey doing that he has been insulted on a criminal level, and Mikey should be thrown in jail with Mike and Joel. I just made that last bit up.
Can I ask a question? So
Yes.
way back when, I want you to all remember the past now, dig up the history. Didn't he say, Lloyd, right back at the beginning, I'll be giving you all an update and I'll be producing all of the court documents to everything that's been said and everything that's been filed. Has he today done any of that? No. Why is that?
No.
Is it because it's all bullshit rhetoric that's just absolutely, retweet. Look, they hurt my feelings because they said this, they said that. And it's actually nothing at all. And if it was actually put out by him, do you not think that the whole community would laugh their heads off?
Well, that's why he does that, because he's got to keep his 3 Patreons strung along.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, may I remind everybody about some history also? if flipping somebody off, yes, I have a cold and I'm sucking on cough drops. That's what's wrong with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But may I remind that if that is illegal, I have screenshots, I have video, I have all the evidence, because a very good friend of ours told us 10 years ago, you grab something when you see it because you may need it later because they will deny it.
Yeah.
Lloyd, he flipped off many people. I have screenshots of him telling F you to several people.
Yep.
BCG, Shelley, from that testified at the ARC, he told her same thing, and screw you, because she was trying to defend an abuse victim.
Don't forget the C word.
Did someone over
Yeah. Our friend Sharon, he called her the 4-letter C word, just for posting a scripture on Facebook with no comment. And it took him 9 days to apologize. And that's when Mikey, and I'm really surprised that video that Mikey did back then isn't part of the court case.
Because remember what he tried to make everybody believe, that I threatened his life by taking him, behind the woodshed and knock some sense into him. See, Lord's memory is as short as his pecker is.
I presume you have first-hand
knowledge.
Do you have first-hand knowledge, Mikey?
Only what I hear from little Tweety birds. Tweet, tweet, tweet.
Oh God, Terry, tell us. So at this point,
as you guys can tell, I have zero respect for that human being.
Really?
Zero.
Really? You do surprise me.
I would have never thought.
I'm shocked.
Simon wants to know is the word that starts with D, is it chump? He wants to know. He's not sure.
Chump. Yeah. He is a chump.
So at this point, we've knocked out Mark and Cora. We've knocked out Joel because it's just so bloody ridiculous. I'm not even talking about Joel's. We've knocked out Mike and Kim, who basically said nothing other than and Jonathan.
That was AI.
Yeah. Allegedly.
That wasn't again. That was AI.
And then we've knocked out Jonathan because his is literally opinion repeating. It's like he's a discussion. It's actually I love Jonathan's interview. I don't love me in it because I look like I'm stoned, even though I'm absolutely not. But I'm just so out of my head. I don't know what I'm doing. But he created some general good conversation. I wish I could talk to him now in my current state of mind, because at the time I was really messed up and upset. But yeah, anyway, so he's just created conversation points. He's out, everybody's out. I'm out because mostly everybody knows. See you, Wally. Oops.
Bye, Wally.
Bye, Wally.
Bye.
Bye, Wally.
Bye, Wally.
And Elma says goodbye. So, this is, I know, again, we laugh, we make fun, we joke, we take the piss, but these are genuinely things that are in the court case. This is why nobody's talked about it. I'm going to make all the documents public. At this point, Terry, I just want to know, what are your thoughts on the situation?
Well, to be honest with you, I've been thinking long and hard about this, and I just wonder, the person who he has employed to look through all this documentation, how much does that cost? I would love to know if there was a freedom of information that we could try and find out. How much is that person charging Lloyd and obviously his patrons per hour? It must have gone into thousands. This is costing thousands of pounds, and yet we know he's not paying for it because he doesn't work. He doesn't like work, and so it's coming from other people paying that money. Yeah, so I thought I prefer that it be. Why doesn't Lloyd? I'm sure there must be somebody, one of his followers watching this. Why didn't he ask Lloyd? Lloyd, so far, what is the legal bill? What's the legal bill for this? Because what we've all seen tonight is is it's quite obvious that it's a lot of shite. Honestly, it's going to be laughed out of court. Well, it really is so bad. But what's the legal bill? What? I'd love to know what the legal bill is, because I think if Lloyd finally produced that or somebody else got that, I think that'd be the end of him. I think his Patron was just deserting. Anyway, that's my thoughts.
Yeah. Well, I know how much it's cost us so far in terms of legal expenses or whatever, and we've done like most of it ourselves. It's like basically give us the documents, we read them, we translate them, we do everything ourselves. It's just give us, and I know how much that's cost, and it has been a lot of money for us as well. So I mean, I can't even begin to imagine, based on what it's cost us, I would suggest that it would probably be in, at least, in my opinion, and I could be completely wrong, but I would suggest that it's north of 10,000 euros. Well north.
I would
well
say
north.
well north, more than that, because of what we're going through similar at the moment. And it's cost a lot of money, and it's not over yet. And just a simple letter costs hundreds.
Especially when you're dealing with litigation, it costs a great deal of money.
Oh, it does. It absolutely does. And but that I think I'm being very conservative and generous, but I would say definitely north, and quite north probably, of 10,000 euros. So so someone's here. Does anyone else think it's got a well of paying for it?
All that money could have been put towards helping victims, and yet he's getting his patrons to piss all that money away at some bullshit lawsuit.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. When will his patrons wake up and actually realize they're being taken for a ride?
They're not going to.
Never.
Because
Never.
the reason, if anybody had to go out and physically earn this money, you would think long and hard about how you spent it. But when something's being given to you for basically doing nothing, on your jackass doing all every day, you don't care where you're spending that money.
No, you don't care now.
You just don't have any, because you're not having to go out and earn it. We literally bust our balls every day, and we are looking at each other going, what are we doing? Because financially, you just think to yourself, you've got to be really careful where you're spending your money. And if it is, what's the end of it? Are you actually going to, what's the benefit towards the end? What are you actually going to succeed and achieve here? And I'm just, you can only think like that when you're earning the money. He doesn't care because he's not having to do anything. I mean, how many videos does he have to do to get a regular income every month?
I know
needs a lot.
The good point there about has he got a backer? And I know through the years, through the years, we know the backers he's had through the years, where to get him off the ground and to keep him afloat till he got all of his streams of income coming in, we know who those backers were. And even one denied that he wasn't backing anymore, and he still was, and we have evidence of that. So he's had major backers in the past that have kept him going. There's been ulterior motives.
I don't know what they've got on. I don't know what he's got on them. No. But he's got something on people that they don't want exposed. So, and there's a couple of high people in the background. You know, like Watchtower has people that you don't see them, but they pull the strings. Well, the extra community, there's a lot of people that are ex-witnesses that we were in contact with. We know how they work. We've never accepted any money ever off anyone for anything we've ever done in the past, and up to now, and a penny off the community never will. As far as we're concerned, we did it for reasons that we wanted to help. If we could help one person, that's what we would do, and that's why we did it and we did it out of spare time. We didn't have spare time, but we made time because actually we benefited from it as well. Because as doing our videos when we did, we healed from that. So actually, that was what we did from that. We never got any money. But the thing that annoys me is when you've got somebody like that sat in the background getting money for basically doing jack all, and then spending it like he is, when those people that are actually donating that are the ones that are going out and doing a harder day's work, thinking they're helping to support, bring down Watchtower, but all they're doing is lining pockets to live the lifestyle he wants, because he's a work-shy piece of shit that doesn't want to work.
And look, and I couldn't agree with you more. And that exact point that you just made there is something that he has that's part of his allegations against me, is that I've said you're taking advantage of vulnerable people, and and he hasn't been telling them the truth, and he hasn't been, there's documentation that he posted himself on Reddit years ago, not that many years ago, 2019 or something, and he explains about what his income was and where he derived his income, like his 4 main sources, and these are. He said it, it's not anyone minding his business. He's disclosed it. And he said, I'm putting it towards activism, this, that, putting it all, churning it back in, whatever his word is.
Churning it back in. Tuning content. But tuning more content.
and that's what he said that he's doing, and he's got people convinced. Unlike you, who sees the benefit of what you do to help you're helping other people, but you're also helping yourself and gaining from supporting other people. I know Kim feels exactly the same way. I don't know, I presume Mikey feels the same way. Mikey gets frustrated. I love Mikey rants, but I can feel him brewing. I can feel it coming. But so there's that element. The other thing, and I want to say this while Evie's in the chat, I know she's here, she's going to lose her mind. Evie, you can swear in the chat as much as you want. One of the biggest things that he has come for me about is the fact that I asked the question, how many activists have left or are no longer doing activism as a result of the bullshit that he has brought to the community, and that that he's bullied people, that he's harassed people, that he's silenced people, that he's that he's done. Everyone's heard what I've said about it. That is a large chunk of what he said against me. And if I have to drag every single ex-JW activist, ex-JW activists, ex-JWs who've been affected, I will. I'll subpoena the whole goddamn lot of them, and they will come, because it is just so dumb that he could possibly say. I know my favorite video, and don't make me play it because I goddamn will. My favorite video is the video by JW Primetime, JW Survey Day. If you haven't seen it, where have you been? Go and watch it. It's on his channel. And it's hooray for JW Survey Day. And Lloyd created a JW Survey Day. And it's coincidence, I'm sure. There's no inference here of any wrongdoing. There's inference, but if I understand correctly from the history records, JW Survey Day was the day that you were going to 10 Downing Street to deliver a petition.
Did it happen? No. Did JW Survey the year after that?
No.
Only
we've never seen it again, but it is. I love Prime's, like, it's just my favorite thing ever. Like, it's even funnier than Drunken Cedars. Like, it is even funnier than that. And that's
fine.
No, but it's funny. But this one is that's.
If you guys go back and watch that Drunken Cedars, that copper cup I've got, my daughter and I, we won that cup at a Mountain Man rendezvous for the best of the best legends storytelling. Well, I can't sing with a crap, and I'll tell everybody that right here. But if you look at the beginning of that cup is pristine. At one point, I got so pissed at myself for not singing it right, I threw it up against the bed and bent it.
just to quickly cover Jay's point, Jay. He got a decent amount of money for that he made for the conversion video. I personally didn't count it, but I do know that I think Mark O'Donnell did, and I pretty much remember at the time it being said that it was $3,000 US. That is one of, and I covered it in a video earlier when I was talking to Andrew Gold. Andrew Gold asked about it, and now Lloyd has turned that into, I said that he gets $3,000 every live stream video, which is absolutely ridiculous. I said I think it was $3,000. Does not mean on a regular basis. It just meant on that occasion. That's in the chat. That's what everybody's talking about, is the video that you're just talking about now, just to clarify. Yes, he did make 3,000 American dollars.
Yeah, because I remember him seeing, someone else has just donated. Oh, it looks like everybody wants to hear about my personal life. He loved it. Absolutely. He thought that he suddenly was on a winner here, that actually the general public wanted to hear this stuff, which is why he carried on. He was seeing the money coming in. I'm really glad he did it as a live stream, because if he hadn't, I think he would have shut up at some point, because he was seeing the dollar signs. It blinded him from doing this.
Yeah, you're right.
He was completely money drunk, looking at that coming in, going ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Oh, if I say this, what happens then? And the more explicit and the more actual expose he was doing, the more money was coming in. So he wasn't money drunk, didn't hear what he was actually saying, and now he's trying to whitewash history. What video? What live stream? I never said that.
He already had it planned.
And so normal.
He already had it planned to whitewash it.
XJW is coming out now, or listening to his videos now, like Watchtower. Oh, it must, look at him. He's wonderful, and he's doing this, that, and the other, and oh, bless him. And yet, go back a few months and start looking over old literature and comparing it to new literature, and suddenly you're allowed a beard. You have to be told that you can wear a beard in the Watchtower now. Can you see? If you have to be told, sorry, it just made me laugh, because I actually was at work the other day, and I was doing this particular job, and a guy came, and I thought, oh, he's got to be a witness. He works for a particular chap that we know owns this company. So
window cleaning.
So I said to him,
I did that.
You work for so and so then? And he said, oh yes. I said, yeah. I said, I hate him. I said, he's a horrible person, despise the person, can't stand the man. And he said, oh, why is that? And I said, oh, you're Polish. So yeah, definitely are one of them. And I said to him, so you must be a Jehovah's Witness then? And he said, oh, yes, I am. And he said, how do you know them? And I said, and I went into lots of things. I said, look up jwfacts.com, went into a whole D-witness thing and witness thing. I couldn't help myself. And I said, and by the way, you see that what you're wearing there? I heard that you're just allowed to wear that now. I said, you've had to be told and given permission and be aware that you are now allowed to have a full-on beard. What does that tell you? I said, where's that in the Bible? I said, they've all got beards back in biblical times, if you look. I said, why were you not allowed one and suddenly you are? I said, it makes no sense. I said, just look at the actual tiny little informational pieces that you've got going on. And exactly the same with Lloyd. Lloyd will completely whitewash his history, and anyone needs to do their background check and look at what he said so and so ago, suddenly realizes how absolutely mad the whole thing is, and how he's a complete nutty, and how he's not, and he believes his own rhetoric.
But if you bring up stuff, you get shunned.
Yes, I never said that.
Don't forget that. You get shunned.
Or you become a criminal defendant.
Right. Can I ask a question? Right.
Yes.
You see, see what's trying to do at the particular court at the moment. If they throw it out to the court, what happens next?
If they throw the Croatian Court.
If whichever court's dealing with the case, whichever judge rules on this, right, and goes, this is utter nonsense, this is getting thrown out, what happens next?
For Lloyd?
Yes. Where does Lloyd go there?
Does the court do anything, or does he just get the court dismissed?
He does another live stream hoping he'll get $6,000 now.
For just 63 cents a day.
Yeah, but $19 a month, just 63 cents a day. If you guys took all those ads that they want 63 cents a day, do you know what that translates into? At the end of the month, you're 63 cents a day, dead ass broke.
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak about it publicly too much, but there are consequences for taking people to court frivolously.
Oh yeah.
And those things do apply in Croatia also. So if we're going to play that game, then we can. Yes, they're that could be the case. I'm not saying, but yes, as regards Lloyd, I don't care. I don't know. I do know that will make my day. I want to talk about this guy here, the Aussie Outdoor Blokes. I do know this person quite well. His accusation is a joke. the most caring person I think I've met, Kim. Here's the tool you saved my family. Okay, so this is not about me, but this guy was desperately trying. He's an ex-veteran, by the way. He served in the Australian military for some time and did overseas tours and sorts of things. Like, he's in our country. That's, something to be, like to respect. And I do have respect for him on that level. So this guy was trying to help his wife to wake up from the cold, and his heart was in it. Like, his heart was a heart of gold. Like, the guy was desperately trying and doing the best that he knew how to help her. And he just, I met him through, although we do have he's Australian, so we have some Australian links, but we personally didn't know each other. But I did meet him through JW Server. He contacted needing help, and I said, I know his family. I'll get in contact with him and have a chat. And so all it was a matter of doing was just saying, no, you're feeding into that, to the person, you're pushing them in, like, back up, just relax a little minute, and just, working with him just to change. And his wife is awake, and that's fabulous news. I've not met her, but I know his son as well. He's out as well, and so, like, those sorts of people are the people that we should be there for, to help, that we should be available to do. I don't want a cent from that man. I'm so happy. It makes me happy. I'm not going to say his name, but I'll say hello to him. It makes me happy just to know that his wife is out, and that for him, he's living his best life with his wife and with his, with their son. And I think that he knows enough now. He knows enough now that he can go and talk to other people that I do know that he knows. We have friends in common, and hopefully he can then go and use those skills to wake somebody else up, or or that method, or not that it's like, there's a million different ways of doing things like that, but that is what I think we should be doing as XJWs, and finding information, like, collecting information. This is not a business. If you make money through ad revenue, I don't care. I don't, like, that does not bother me in any way, shape, or form. If you make money through Patreon, but you give your patrons something, and your patrons know what it is that you're paying, you're getting money for, then you, as a YouTuber, that's fine. I support 4 YouTubers as a patron. Because I like their work, and they a couple of bucks a month. It's nothing, but I know what I'm getting. I'm not getting activism. I'm getting YouTube. I'm getting content. I'm getting entertainment. That's what I'm paying for. I'm not paying to be an advocate for child sexual abuse. It's just not. So, and of course that, just leading into the rest of it, all the other stuff about me, and I still am frustrated, is about the whole crap about not understanding the conflict of interest between child sexual assault victim advocacy and utilizing the services of sex workers.
Yeah.
And then lying about it.
Yeah. And admitting it's a problem, but he's also admitted in that live stream, he said, I didn't think I would need that once I was married. I thought it would be enough. My marriage would be enough. I wouldn't need that. Therefore, he's admitting just by that couple of sentences that he's got a problem. And then by keeping standard of not having control of his penis, he's obviously got complete control. Basically saying, on the other hand, that he hasn't. You cannot say a statement like that and then stand up for sexual victims, survivors of sexual assault, and be taken seriously. If he was a member, as I said before, and I'll say it again, if he was a member of Parliament and he was a minister working in that area or anything to do with that, he would be completely dismissed straight away, and he would not be allowed anywhere near it in the public forum. So why is somebody who is who's an ex-Jehovah's Witness like we all are, who's got a bit of a mouth on him? Yeah, he does, he's clever with videos and he's this, that, and the other, but suddenly be allowed to get away with it. and pat it on the back. It's okay. Yes, we're still going to carry on paying you. I just don't get it.
It's the age-old mind concept. But he's helped so many people. Look at all of the good he's done.
Yeah.
Stop and think for a moment. Stop and think. Okay? As ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, how many of us quit smoking or never picked up smoking? Watchtower did us a favor by doing that. How about being drunkards? Watchtower did us a favor for doing that. How about being maybe, yeah, maybe in your case, but
no,
see,
I think they call that.
so by that same rhetoric, everybody that makes that statement, but Lloyd's done so much good, you need to quit harping on Watchtower, because Watchtower has done a lot of good.
Yeah, but then so has Kim and Mikey. So has Kim and Mikey. So has JW Thoughts. So has JW Facts. So have Avoid JW. So has Larchwood. So has I'm trying to think of more modern
everybody.
But that's,
you know what I'm saying? But they're all free.
Yeah.
But that's their excuse to hang on.
Yeah.
But
you've got a lot
of come after us.
He's convinced people that they need without him. But you know what? The world is moving on.
Yeah, but I was also just going to say, if you ask me, apart from the beard thing, which the only reason I know about that is because of Facebook tweets, okay? I don't have anything to do with Jehovah's Witnesses anymore. If you ask me what their belief structure is now, I'd probably get it wrong, because it's changed so much since we were part of it that I wouldn't want to give the wrong information, because we don't revolve our lives in that shit constantly, where we're having to remind ourselves of what that's all about. I have a complete and utter life, along with my husband and our family, outside of the Borg. I don't want to keep being regurgitated all the time about what's what, which is great for new people coming out who have got that up-to-date knowledge, are the correct ones at this right time now to be the ones doing it, other than Kim and Mikey, who have kept up to date because they keep being given all the local information and everything else. I don't want to know. I really don't want to, because I don't want to keep being reminded of something that I escaped, and I'm free. The only reason I'm back is because of that twat. That's the only reason I'm here. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be doing this right now. So,
and I know Terry has the same sort of mentality with, he does, if something interests him, he pops in and out and does his thing. The greater positive is the same, if something interests him, he pops in and out. I find that Kim and Mike, the way they do things is like watching the news, I find that how, like, Terry's usually laughing about shit. JW Thoughts is usually laughing, making fun, alt-worldly. I've got brain fade, but all like the mentality is moving on from that really serious, like going back to the Kingdom Hall to now having a laugh a bit more, and I think the community is better off for it. I think it's great.
Totally. And the thing is, if you can't, I mean, the content that we came out on, the people that were around at the time, Evie and JW, what was his Non-Do 2. Ethan, Fairy Tale, yes, exactly. Bill, Snarky Apologist, Silencia,
Son of Thunder,
all of them, Dalmira, all of those people, they've got lives now that they're carrying on with. They don't need it. It's not something they need to keep doing. And you've got people that are on now that would never know about them because their content is either there, in the background, but maybe not relevant, but it was relevant to us. So, the same being, if I needed to see something now, I wouldn't probably necessarily watch the newer ones ourselves, because they wouldn't necessarily relate to me, because I've not been a Jehovah's Witness for the last, goodness me, 12 years now. So because of that, I'm so far out of it that I don't need to keep being reminded of it all the time. I've succeeded in being fully healed, and the only reason
but there are some gems in the old, like the OGs, as I call them. That, like, who? I mean, honestly, Jehovah Bear, come on. Don't talk to me. That's just dead set funny as. Like,
Over there. It's brilliant.
Jehovah Bear is awesome. If you don't know what to about, go look on JW Fairy Tales. Katie Kitten, of course, she's also there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, absolutely.
we are heading up towards the 1 hour and 3/4 mark, and I did hope to keep it below 2. So I thought we'd just go around, comments, things that people want everybody to know, anything you want to say that hasn't been covered. Go.
Can I just say that yet again, Lloyd, if he's listening or watching or whatever, when are you going to apologize? When are you going to apologize for wasting everybody's money for this legal court case against these fine people here, and also, of course, blowing all that money to get blown in Thailand of all places? But at the end of the day, is what I really struggle with more than anything is the fact is that he always says that none of the patron funds went towards that trip in Thailand. And I did a video to show that. How does he know? If he only has all one bank account, it all comes in different revenues and whatever. He doesn't know. He took that money out of that pot to pay for those flights, to pay for his accommodation, everything else. And he's still tells people the lies that it was his money to do what he liked. And yet his Patreon page clearly says all the money goes in there to get funded out, to churn out. All the money gets churned out for the content. It is a lie. And I just wish he'd just come on and just say, you see, a long time ago, it just come on and just said, look, I've fucked up here. This is it. And actually be a man. Actually grow a pair and own this. He's never done it yet. And that's the biggest problem I have with. So to not to the end of my days, because I'm not going to be obsessed about this, but obviously when something comes up, the fact he's still carrying on this case is just nonsense. And it's just more and more of just shows of just Lloyd's. It's all about Lloyd. It's all about his image. It's all about him. But at the end of the day is he's creating, I've said so many times, so many footprints on the internet. But this will never die down. And very soon his children, his 2 girls, are going to be at the age where somebody will go up to them. They'll actually Google it and says, "Is this your dad?" Yeah. And then, my God, it'll collapse. The whole thing will fall down. And yet he's throwing more fuel onto the fire. If I was him, I'd go away. I'd go away, leave this all behind and say, oh my God, what have I done? I'd just go away, I'd step away. But unfortunately, he's got such a character flaw that it's all about his legacy. And he doesn't even realize that his legacy is good.
Because he thinks he can whitewash it. This is what, but that's exactly what Watchtower does. They don't see the bigger picture. They just think, oh, I can whitewash that. They don't even think about whitewashing it. They just do it. Oh, the minions will just follow what I say now. He's not looking at the bigger picture. He's looking at the now. Yeah. What's lining my pockets right now, or what's less, it's not as big as it was last month. Why is that? Well, it's because of them. When actually it's because of him. And words his own mouth has spewed.
And I do want to just say on that point that Terry made, I never said patron money. This has been, bastardized into, I said funds generated from activism. Go back and check my original statement. That's what I said. Yep. Because his income is all at that time was all derived from Patreon, the books, YouTube revenue, and I forget there is another one, I forget which one it is, but that's what I said. So I mean, he like very much is happy to nitpick down to one particular point, and Terry's point is valid. How do you know? But more than that, that's not what we said anyway. So I just sort of put that out. Sorry, Kim, what were you saying?
I was just going to say real quick, can I mention a paragraph here in his medical documents he submitted, if I don't mention any of his medical issues?
Yeah, just be careful,
Yeah. It does mention in here, it does mention the divorce is in progress. But this is one thing, sorry if you didn't want that to go out, but this is the point I wanted to bring out here. He says that he's doing okay. He has a terrible social life, but the business is functioning, tracking and analyzing new business opportunities due to mental status.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obvious that he's even told his doctor that he has hope for the future for new business opportunities.
Mm.
Not in this community, that can happen.
But I just want to, something else, Sylvia, you said earlier, that I just want to make sure people actually heard what you said, because I'm not sure it was picked up on. I think so a couple of people might have done, but just in case. In those court documents that have been filed, he has publicly named and given addresses and details of Patreons.
Correct.
Yeah.
So your personal Patreons information, without your knowledge or consent, has been given over to court documents, which we now have access to.
Mm-hmm.
So they're no longer private for you, just so you're aware. So if you want to remain not anonymous, or you think you're doing something good here, this guy doesn't care two hoots about you or your personal information or anything. He has put it all out there.
He's got a history of doing that, outing people that were, some of them still in the job.
Yeah.
He's got a history of it.
Yeah.
And
and to the point that Kim Brooks is making in respect of his new business, I think that, there's been evidence all the way along. He went and talked about to Mormons, and he talked about the environment. He's talked about lots of things. He wants to diversify away from exjw content. I'm pretty sure he said that publicly, which is fine. Go, but don't use patrons as a like vulnerable people as a go-to in the meanwhile. I don't like that.
No. But there's somebody, we're going through stuff at the moment, but somebody actually keeps turning everything on us, and it's just so hilarious, because you read through and you just think you've just said something here that's completely rubbish. It's all about the narcissistic personality. They can turn and deflect. Darvo, I think it was called, deflect, attack, victimize, and something like observe or something like, anyway, but it's Darvo. Look it up, and that is Lloyd all over.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I've just been distracted. Dean, don't point your hands at the camera. They look ginormous. How rude.
What about mine then?
Y'all should do it.
My God. That's so rude.
Don't put your banana. They're big fingers.
Is that a banana?
I don't have. My hands are not that big. Well, actually, Burer and most of the people on this video have met me. Do I have ginormous hands? No. Do I have normal hands? Yes.
No, you don't. You have normal hands. Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
And like Simon is bringing out, he has doxed a lot of people, including us. But his Patreons don't seem to give a crap about that. They don't care what he's done to other people. And that's what pisses me off, is he's doxed us. He's doxed our daughter. He gave our physical address back in 2014 when we weren't ready to go public. He gave him our full name. He posted a document. We were trying to get set up to be a nonprofit so we could put little cottages on our property and then get federal grants. And I mean, he ruined all of that. He ruined all of that because of his lies.
Yeah.
But that's actually something that the exjw community could do with. Like that would have been very helpful.
Well, we always said it, like a retreat. We always have this
That's
thing.
what we were willing to do.
I remember.
That's what we were willing to do, but that piece of
And you've
got interestingly,
shut it down.
Interestingly, there was something that he and I and others were discussing not long before, setting up something in Croatia. So anyway, I do just want to say, pardon?
I said, just saying, Arthur's put up what Darvo means: deny, attack, and reverse victim, defender, and offender.
That's it.
Defender, That's Darvo.
I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something to Arthur, and I've said, please leave Arthur alone. He's very welcome here. He is a friend of Lloyd's, but he's welcome. And I accept that. But Arthur, I want to ask you a question, and you can contact me. You know how to contact me privately. Arthur, do you remember when we did the video for Lloyd, the 10-year anniversary thing? And you did some good, funny stuff. You did some recordings for me. Why did they never make it into the video? Why?
While you're asking that, is Arthur the one that helped with the Crisis of Conscience publication reprint?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. It was the one organising it all. I thought I recognised the name.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I mention something? Well, just that we're coming to the end of the live stream, and it's something that Mike and Kim, we've had a couple of texts between each other, and I just want to say this out of respect for this particular individual. I'm not going to mention his name right now because his family, there are lots of intricate reasons why his family, it's a very sensitive issue right now. It'll all come out one day, but
we'll do a video with Mike and Kim about it as well. But...
Or Mike and Kim will do it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to just point, I'm going to show you something now, Lloyd Evans. If you're watching this, you see this? It's a foot. And do you know what's on that foot? An electronic tag. And that belonged to an activist who's no longer with us. Someone that was willing to put his arse on the line and actually go the extra mile for child victims. And he went all the way and ended up being charged for it by the police. And on the same time that he was doing that, you were building a black platform off his backside, saying that aggressive activism was wrong, when he was having a massive effect on so many activists at that time.
And people that weren't.
He's no longer with us.
Yeah.
But it'll all come out in the future. But how dare you use him? He even did a video saying to you very politely, would you stop using him like that and being so anti him? You didn't. I'm just pointing that out to you. People won't know about this, but it was very public.
Right.
He said some horrible things about him. I mean, called him a raving lunatic. And
but to a lot of us, he's a hero for what he was doing because he was standing up.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Another story.
We won't go into details because it's too long, but yeah. Well,
and respect for the family. It's I've mentioned it deliberately today because it's based on the fact that he will manipulate anything he can to make himself look that little bit extra higher than the rest. And even to the point of slating this man that was putting his backside on the line at the time and going the extra mile where none of us would go that far, but he was willing to do it.
Yeah.
And on that note, that man, I do know who you're talking about. I knew who that man was through Lloyd, and the things that Lloyd told me about him led me to believe or form the opinion that he was crazy, that he was mentally unwell, that he was actually damaging to the extended community. And my opinion of that, obviously with time, has completely changed. He's, it's my opinion that he's damaged the community by not allowing those sorts of activities to go on.
To silence everyone. But that'll all come out.
But it'll come out,
Yeah. All right. So we'll call it at that. If you guys just want to stay on the line, and I'll end the stream, and then I'll talk to you in the back room for a sec. But thank you everybody for joining us. I hope that
I feel really naughty.
You're going to the back room. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that everyone has a great day, and the beginning of the new year is good for you, and that 2024 is the dream that you want it to be. So thank you again, and check out, I'll have in the chat later on a link to a place where you can check out and view all the documents and make your own opinion. Okay, take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching.